starting with our practice for lesson 102.
Mr. Jones, I don't have
Yes.
lesson 2.
Why not?
I didn't do it.
I know, because you're doing all the missing assignments you didn't do from before, like lesson 101 and like lesson 100.
Mr. Jones,
This goes on third quarter, Eric, so it's
Mr.
the
Jones?
last one. It was from last Friday. So yes, Andre, you don't either?
I think I put in my 102 with the stuff that I gave you today, my mom
Okay.
bring.
All
And
right.
I'm using the pass from my math lesson.
The one that I gave you that you used last week already?
The test pass.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. You're using that for the test pass. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
Mr.
gotcha.
Jones,
And I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
I accidentally did 103 for the practice, not 102.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay. Did anybody do practice for 102?
Me, I did.
Okay. The rest of you tune out. Here we go. Letter A is 40 centimeters and B is 70 millimeters.
I got check mark.
Did you get check mark? Okay, both of you got check mark. Good. What did I do with the markers in there? All right, Emma, you get a half lesson pass.
Finally.
And Juliana, you're only 3 away from a test pass. All right, so let's check the lesson. So I'll fill that out for you, Emma. If you want to use it, though, before next week, let me know, and I'll mark it down, or I'll just do something with it, you know, tear it up or something. If I can find my passes, what do I do with them? There they are. All right. All right, so here we go. Number 1 is 5. 2A is 72 years. B is 28 years old. 3A is 9 inches, and B is 81 square inches. Number 4 is 18. Number 5 is 7/8. 6 is 13. 7. It says, if you know the diameter of a circle, how can you find the radius? You divide the diameter by 2. Number 8, or divide the diameter in half, or multiply by half, or whatever it is. Divide it in half. Number 8 is less than. Number 9, A is 0.01, B is 1%. A on 10 is 2/5, and B is 40%. 11A is 2/25, and B is 0.08. Number 12 is 15 3/8. 13 is 5 3/4. 14 is 3. 15 is 2/10. Any questions? All right. Hold on. Okay. Number 16 is 21 divided by 7 equals 3. 17 is 3.2. 18 is, in parentheses, 2 times 10 to the 7th power plus 5 times 10 to the 5th power. Prime numbers between 40 and 50 are 41, 43, and 47. 20 is 8. 21 is 60 millimeters. 22 is 150 square millimeters. 23 is 120 boxes. 24 is 1/52. 25 is -8 degrees Fahrenheit. 26 is 140 millimeters. 27A is 80 square millimeters. B is 140 square millimeters. And C is 220 square millimeters. 28 is 1, -2. 29 is 4 pounds. And 30 is 250 centimeters. Okay, where's my grade book? All right, Juliana, what'd you get?
25.
Okay, Andre, you didn't have it, right? Okay, in the packet. Emma
26.
and Brianna.
22.
Okay, so Just giving you a heads up. So Andre, Eric, you don't have less than 98, 99, 101, 102. So the last 4 lessons, when you're doing all those missing assignments, you miss those assignments.
I
And
have,
so
wait, less than 99?
99, no, yeah, 98, 99. Now you may have turned in the envelope. I haven't gotten to those yet. Yeah, that's possible. But still, the idea is that you haven't been doing your homework because you're doing all the other work that you didn't do before. And you're not the only one. Andre, you as well. Mr. Andre, you're missing 88, 89. Well, they may be turned in, but you in the last, 95, 96, 97, 98, and 102. So, ¿qué pasa, man? What's happening? It's not like you guys, like you're here at school all day and you have all that time taken up during the day from 8 o'clock until 3 doing something. You guys have that 7 hours to kind of plan out and do what you need to do. And this is the same speech I just gave the 5th graders this morning, that a lot of you guys are just, you're being lazy is what you're doing. You're being lazy. Okay. It's like, okay, oh, it's just too long to be at school. Okay. So then you have this freedom now. You had an extra week off where you could have done something like some of the projects that you knew you were going to do. And yet there are some that haven't done that. And you have all these, this extra time. And then during the day, so I don't know what time you guys get up now, but I imagine it's a little later than what you used to get up. Am I correct or not? Yeah, pretty much. And then some of you go to bed later now because you're staying up watching things or playing around or doing things. You don't have church services to go to, maybe to watch on YouTube. But it's not like you have all this time that you're using doing other things except playing around and not being diligent and not being look, you guys, I'm trying to get you ready for 7th grade. Math is one of those things that I can tell you right now, there are a few of you that are going to have, or 2 of you, a couple of you, that are probably going to have to be tested before you go into 7th grade. And if you don't pass the test, then you won't be able to go into 7th grade. And so you've got to make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is the work that you're supposed to be doing. So you guys, look, every day you have assignments, you know what they are. You could easily knock those things out in a couple hours at the longest. The videos altogether, the longest the videos are altogether to watch, just to watch them, is probably 45 minutes at the most. So you could get your work done each day in 3 hours, no problem. No problem. 3 hours, that's it, as compared to 7 hours being at school. Okay, so let's take advantage of the opportunity you have now. It's not just oh man, we're stuck at home. Get the work done, man. Then you got the rest of the time free. And you don't have to worry about your mom coming ready to kill you, Eric, or Andre, your mom and your sister looking up on iGrade all the missing assignments you have because you decide to be lazy about something. Now, I understand that things come up. I'm not talking about that, because I know that all of you, there are things that come up that I have no idea. Like Katie today, I don't know what she's doing, but those things happen. But if you just are lazy every day and then something like that happens and you were planning on trying to make up some of that work during the time, then what happens? And you end up not making it up. And then you got even more work that you have to get done. All right. And then also as you're doing the work, it keeps you up in your mind as to what for the tests and things of what's going on. And so today's the first day of the new quarter. So the stuff that we do today, all that assigned stuff is going to be for 4th quarter. All right. The last opportunity for some of you to really show that you are worthy of being a 7th grader. All right. And for those of you that don't do your reading, don't like reading because you don't understand it, look, ask questions. You've got plenty of time all during the day to ask me questions about things or to ask somebody else. And so that's why I'm here. We're here to do that, but it's not doing me much good or doing you much good if you don't take advantage of the tool that you have, which is Mr. Jones. Okay. I am that tool. And so use that tool. All right. Look, I know most of you can do all your work on your own if you want. But you're old enough now, Eric, you're old enough now that you don't need your mommy telling you what to do. Because that's basically what you're doing, is your mommy is telling you to do your work. Okay. Aren't you old enough to be responsible for yourself? You probably tell your mom you are when you want to go out and do something by yourself, or you want to go out with a group of people and do something. You probably tell her, oh, I'm responsible. But then you show her something different. Same thing for all of you. It's the same exact thing. All right. So Just be good at getting your work done. All right, let's look at the next lesson. Cross products. I was telling you about this the other day.
Mr. Jones,
What?
did you I didn't see the track.
No, I forgot all about it. I'm sorry. Mrs. Jones has ones. I did look for them in our track rack, but we didn't have one there. So Mrs. Jones had said she had one and she forgot to bring it out, and I forgot to ask her about it, and so I'll give it to you next week. Sorry about that. Yes, Andre.
Are we going to have a graduation ceremony?
Graduation ceremony for what?
Well, like at the end of the year.
You mean for the kindergarten?
Yeah, and that stuff. Because my sister kind of wants to come to the kindergarten.
I don't know. We don't know until we find out whether or not Governor Inslee is going to let schools go after the this part is over, or when they're going to let us start. I have no idea. Pastor Fricks won't know until we figure that out. He would love to do any of that, believe me. All of that stuff that we usually do at the end of the year. The teachers would love to do it. Pastor Fricks would love to do it, but we are stuck right now with what's going on in the with the system right now. I'm waiting to see an update on Governor Inslee when he comes and kind of gives us the understanding of what's going to happen as far as with the new rules, or how many people have died, how many people have gotten it, and whether we've reached the peak yet or not. Supposedly this week is when we're supposed to reach the peak in the United States, and then it should be downhill from there, but we don't know. And especially with the social distancing that everybody's supposed to be doing, should be helping. But it does take a couple of weeks because the virus lasts. A couple of weeks, you can be up to 10 days before you start showing symptoms. And even then, some people who show symptoms don't show very serious symptoms, so they don't know really what they have. They could just have a cold, and there are all kinds of other viruses and things out there. So it's hard to say. All right, so yes.
What was the other virus that you said that whoever guesses the other?
That was called the Spanish flu.
Oh, I thought it was a swine flu.
No, swine flu was that wasn't a pandemic. I mean, it was they never declared it as a pandemic, and it was. But I know what you're talking about. That one's the H1N1 is what the kind of official name was. But that one was back in, how long ago was that? That was very long ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Somebody vacuuming in the background or doing something in the background? Who is it? Somebody's vacuuming.
It's my background.
Your back? Yeah. What was it?
A vacuumer.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you turn your microphone off while it's going on so that the rest of us don't hear it, if you don't mind, and then you can turn it on when you need it. All right. So looking at cross multiplications and proportions. So cross multiplication and proportions, basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out whether or not, and by the way, this is, whether or not fractions are proportional to each other. All right, we know that 1/2 and 4/8 are proportional to each other, right? Because you can multiply the 1 times 4 and the 2 times 4, and you get 4/8 out of it. Is that one proportional? Well, there's one way to tell. You use cross multiplication.
Wait, I didn't see the other number. I only see 4, 7. Oh, now I see it.
Okay, so you multiply the bottom of one side with the top of the other. 5 times 4 is equal to
20.
Okay, and then the other side, 3 times 7 is equal to
21.
21. So they are not proportional to each other. Okay, and so that's how you can tell about proportion, whether or not they're proportional to each other. All right, so let's do this. Look at example 2. It says, do these two ratios form a proportion? Do these two ratios form a proportion? They are 8/12 and 12/18. So you're sort of, bless you. So you're comparing them, and you're trying to compare them with the idea of are they equal? That's what you want them to be, is equal. All right. And so we look at this one, 8 times 18, and what is that equal to?
2/3.
Well, the other one, what's the other one equal to? You guys should know that math fact.
144.
Yeah, 144, 12 times 12 is 144. 8 times 18 is, guess what?
144.
It is, yes, 144. And so you get, so for that, it is proportional to each other. And so that's how you check it, by using cross multiplication. Now look at example 3 there. A lot more of them are going to be like this. All right, you have 6/9 is equal to 10 what? You're trying to make it proportional for sure. So that's what you're trying to do, is make it proportional. So in order to make it proportional, what you need to do is you need to cross multiply. And so we have the 6m to begin with. And then equals in the other side, which is 9 times 10, which is 90. Now remember, the proper way to do this type of thing, oh, you just divide it by 6. Well, yes, in this case that would work, but really it's you're dividing both sides by the same number. So this side you're dividing by 6. Why? Because 6, I'm trying to do it as I'm reading backwards. Okay, 6 over 6 is equal to what?
1.
1. So that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get 1m by itself. Then you got to do the same thing. What you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other side of the equation. So 90 over 6. And so what is the answer then for m?
35.
15.
It's going to be 15, right? 6 goes into 90 15 times. And so that's the idea. So this, you get, basically these get crossed out because they're 1, 6 over 6 is 1. So you have 1m there. Whenever you see a letter by itself, that means there's only one of them. If it has a number in front of it, like I said 2m, that would mean 2m's equal whatever that number is. But in this case, it started out with 6m. So there were 6m to begin with. You need to get it to just m by itself. So you did that, and then it equals 15. All right? So now look at example 4. This one is going to be in a little bit different place, but it's the same idea. And I would always start it like this, by the way. They do it a little bit different. What they do with this is they put the W on the right side as opposed to on the left side. I would say wherever the letter is, put that on the one side, because it doesn't really matter which side you put it on. So this would be 21W is equal to 70 times 15, which I'm sure you guys just know off the top of your head, right?
Wait.
What's that?
I'm figuring it out.
Well, let me give you a hint of how to figure it out. What would, if instead of 15, what's 10 times 70?
700.
Wait, is the answer
700, right? Because 10 times 70 is 700. And then
Okay.
half of that, half of 700, which is what 5 is, half of 700 would be
300.
350, not 305, but 350. And then 350 plus 700 is
1,000? Wait, no.
1,350.
1,050. I don't know where you get 1,350, but 1,050. Okay, now you got to take both sides and divide them both by 21. Okay? Yes, I'm trying to write backwards here.
Just put 1.
Horrible. So divide by 21, divide by 21. So what's 1,050 divided by 21? Very erased. Okay, 1,050 divided by 21. 21 goes into 105. That's right. Good job, Eric. 5 times.
Hey,
Good job. You got it. See, you did get it. That's exactly 105 when you multiply 21 times 5. Okay? So then you subtract, bring down the other 0. How many times does 21 go into 0?
0.
0 times. So there's your answer. Your answer is 50. So it says that 21W, so the whole idea is that it's 50 over 70 is equal to 15 over 21 on that practice. Ready to try it?
Sure.
Ready or not, here it comes anyway. I will turn my camera off.
I'll just put my phone here. Whoa. What the heck is happening? Ah!
All right, here it comes. Get ready. (15/20) equals m/28. m/28. That's for Eric right there. That's for Brianna right there.
Um,
That's for Andre right there.
okay.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
That's for Emma right there. Andre, you were wrong.
Oh, I was wrong.
Yeah, that's why I went like that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That's what I asked you, and you said you saw it. Here, I'll keep doing it until you don't see it anymore.
I can't see the numbers.
Oh, sorry.
M when M. This is so hard. This is tough for me. Jesus.
Juliana, you gonna let Andre beat you?
I can't do this. For some reason, I can't do this. Of course, my marker doesn't work. I have to find
That
it.
doesn't help.
Oh, that is true.
There you go, Andre.
Hey. I know.
All right, Juliana. Everybody's waiting and staring at you. You got an answer? No? Can we see it? No, because 28 would mean 28/28, which would equal 1. And obviously the other fraction doesn't equal 1. It's 15/20. Did you multiply 28 times m on one? I mean, 20 times m on one side? And then the other one, you multiplied 15 times 28? You're supposed to multiply, look, Juliana, you're supposed to multiply the 20 with the m, and then the 15 with the 28, and they go on opposite sides of each other. You did it differently?
Mr. Jones, can we get
So
our
what did you
own
get for the 15 times 28, Juliana? You have to turn your microphone on, probably. Juliana.
Mr. Jones?
Juliana. What did you get for the side opposite of 20M? Yeah, turn your microphone on. Who turned my microphone off? Don't stop messing with my microphone. I saw that. Juliana, you got to turn your microphone on, not mine. It's in the middle. So it's on the bottom in the middle. If you move your mouse or touch somewhere, you should see 3 things pop up. The left, all the way to the left, is a microphone. Can you not get it? Okay, we're gonna go on from here then. My fingers are getting tired holding it up. So I'll show you, Juliana. This is what you should have gotten as you're doing it. Okay, is that correct? Did you have that? Shake your head yes or no. Oh, Juliana. All I can see are your eyes, so I can't even tell if you're smiling or frowning. I can't even see your eyes because I can't see if you're crying or laughing. I see one eye now. You're a Cyclops. All right, so is that it? Did you give up? Juliana, I need you to answer or give me some indication you're hearing me. I can't tell if you're hearing me or not because I can't see your face. I cannot see your face. It's tilted up. There you go. That's a little bit better. Now I can see your nose. Okay, can you see the picture of yourself? Okay, so you see how much you see? That's all I see too. Let me see if I can make you bigger. That's a little bigger. But all I see is your nose and your eyes. Anyway, so
Wow.
you're not telling me, and you're not turning your microphone on. Have you not? Is there a reason you're not turning your microphone on?
Maybe her speaker is off, actually.
No, I know that. That's why I know that her microphone's not on. I think her speaker's on. Can you hear me? Shake your head yes if you can hear me. Okay, so she can hear me. So can you not turn the microphone on? I can't hear you. No, it's not on. It's not on ours. It says it's off. You sure it's on? Try turning your volume up.
Still.
Yeah, we still can't hear you. So do you have a tablet or is it a phone? Tablet, okay. All right, well, anyway, going from here, did you understand this part? Okay, so then you divide it and you end up with, this would have been your answer, okay? Because you're going to divide both sides by 20. So 20 divided by 20 here, and then 420 divided by 20 is equal to 21. Okay? All right. All right, let's move on to the language end. All right. Think A on the bottom of 165. So let's see. These are the ones you should have had a check mark in. So number 1, number 2, number 5, number 6, number 8, number 9, number 11, number 12, and number 14 all should have check marks. You notice all the other ones have an apostrophe in them, so they would not be correctly spelled possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns never have apostrophes. All right? Next page. We'll go through these together. Yeah, we did a couple of these together already. But number 1, it should be Y-O-U-R-S. Number 2, I-T-S. Number 3 and 4 are both correct. Number 5 is Y-O-U-R. Number 6, it should be T-H-E-I-R. Number 7 and 8 are both correct. Did anybody get all those right?
Me, T.
Okay. All right. Did anybody have any questions about any of them as to which ones you missed as to why? No questions by anybody? Okay. All right, pulling the rest of you down here. Okay. So on number 1, we already did together on Think C. For turtle, it is nominative is it, objective is it, and possessive is its, I-T-S. Mrs. Jenkins, she, her, and then for possessive, it's either her or hers, depending on how it's used. David and Pete, it's they, them, their, or theirs, T-H-E-I-R or T-H-E-I-R-S. Rooster is he. By the way, the reason it's he is because a rooster is a male chicken. Well, it's not a male chicken, it's male bird. A female is the hen. The rooster is the male, okay, for chickens. Ain't nothing but us chickens here. Okay, rooster, he, him, and his. He, him, his. I saw some chickens just yesterday. I was delivering mail for the post office because they're short of people. So I was doing packages yesterday, and I saw a whole bunch of chickens running around. All right, here we go. Number 1. Number 1 is, you should circle his. 2, yours and mine. 3, she and I. And then 4, he. Okay. All right, we already did look closely, think A on page 167. But at the bottom, now this is important because this is going to be for points. 2 points per sentence. Okay? 1 sentence for each word, not cramming 5 words into one or 3 words into one. 1 sentence per word. Okay? So you're going to, for each of those words, 6 of them, that's going to be worth 12 points for you. All right? First points for the new quarter. So I would suggest you do that carefully. All right, next page. Look at the next page. All right, we have the objective case. The objective case. Now, remember that when we have direct object, you see the word object, objective, that's why they're tied together. The objective case pronoun is used as a direct object. So it says the Lord helps. Remember, that's an action verb, so that means you can have a direct object after it. So who or what does the Lord help? Lord helps me. It has to be me, not I. The Lord helps I. I've heard people try to act as if they understand grammar well. Even on television and on radio, people who are supposed to be professionals and say it the wrong way and say, well, the Lord helps I, or helps. Usually they'll do it when they say, like, for instance, let's say there's a guy, he's on the radio and he's talking about him and his wife, okay? And he's talking about how he and his wife are, or he would say something, well, the Lord helped Laura and I. And they just think it sounds proper, but it's really not proper way to say it. All right? And then in the second one, it's an indirect object because the Lord gives what? What does the Lord give, Eric?
Strength.
Strength to whom or to what, Andre?
Us.
To us, yeah, and that's the idea. And then, of course, the last one is an object of preposition. On is your preposition. Him is your object of the preposition. In time of trouble, we should call on him. All right, now go ahead and read the next part there, Brianna.
Most problems occur when the objects are compound. It is helpful to try these pronouns alone in the sentence.
And look, they did exactly the same thing that I just mentioned, but go ahead and keep going.
The Lord helps you and me, me, compound direct object. The Lord helps I. The Lord helps me. The Lord helps you and me.
Yeah, so you leave the you out because it's compound, and then you get to practice it individually, and then you can easily tell where it is. All right. Go ahead and continue on, Emma.
Sometimes the pronoun object is followed by a noun appositive, which renames it. It is helpful to try the pronoun apart from the appositive. Dad gives we, us, children an allowance. When you omit the appositive children, the correct pronoun is clear. Dad gives us an allowance.
Okay. All right. And so that's the idea that a positive can be a confusing thing, but if you leave it out, and it's just basically renaming, it's for emphasis. We would do that. Dad gives us children an allowance, and people don't you use it more than you think you do, but not as often as you would think by this exercise that you would. But think back there, Andre.
To choose the correct pronoun in a sentence, follow these 2 steps. Determine the use of the pronoun.
Stop for a second. Okay. So what does it mean, determine the use?
Find the use of the pronoun.
Well, what is it talking about use? Eric, what do you think the use means? See, if you don't understand what those words are, that makes it hard to understand. Go ahead, Brianna.
Like find and like what is it, like a subject noun or?
Very good. Exactly. Whether it's used as a subject, whether it's used as an object or predicate, object preposition, if it's used as a possessive, that type of thing. That's what you've got to check first. Then you can easily find the right word for it. Go ahead and do the second one there, Andre.
Decide which case pronoun is needed for that use and choose the appropriate pronoun.
All right. So there you go. Now, it says write the correct answer in the blank. What is the subject of this sentence? So the sentence, we students enjoy stories about missionaries. What do you think, Emma?
We.
Very good. We. What is students there, Eric? Brianna, do you know?
It's I forgot how it's called.
It's the thing that renames a noun. Do you remember, Andre? Emma?
Pronoun.
An appositive, right. It's an appositive. Students is an appositive there. We students. You can leave students out and it still makes sense. We enjoy stories about missionaries. All right. How about number 2? What is the use of the underlined word in this sentence? Mrs. Robinson gave James and me a present for feeding her fish during vacation.
Oh.
Remember this last year you had to name remember you used to have to name every word as to what part of speech was being used for it?
Yeah.
This is similar to that. Do you have an idea? Juliana, you know?
I think I know what it is.
Juliana's like, I'm so glad my microphone is off now.
I think I know it.
Go ahead, you think? Go ahead.
But I don't know if is this supposed to be a part of speech?
That is not a part of speech. Incorrect.
No, I'm saying, is it an indirect object?
It is an indirect object. That's correct.
Oh.
So what is the action here?
Mhm.
What's the action there, Eric, in that sentence?
Gave.
Okay, so when you have an action verb, you can have a direct and an indirect object. So gave is the action. Mrs. Robinson gave what? Did she give James? Maybe she didn't like James. She wanted to give him away.
On eBay.
Present.
Gave a present. Yes. Gave a present to whom or for whom?
James and me.
James and me. And so those are your indirect objects right there. Okay. Get the idea of how this works, sort of? It's sort of like it's starting to roll a little bit, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Emma, why don't you do the last one? What word is in a positive in this sentence?
Us.
No, that would not be in a positive.
Students.
Students would be the positive. Very good. Yeah, because us is the original word, and students renames it. All right, renames the, in this case, the object of, oh, it's a object preposition, because about is a preposition, and so prepositional phrase is about us. All right, number 4. Let's go to Brianna. True or false? A pronoun that follows a verb must be in the objective case.
False.
It's false. Yeah, it can be in the subjective, or it can be in the possessive case, depending upon how the sentence is written. This is one that you probably have repeated before, but Andre, what is what two pronouns have the same form for the nominative and objective case? If you want to go back, if you want to go back and look at your list, you can. Page 165. Anybody know?
There.
No. Go ahead, Brianna. It is one of them. Juliana, do you know? Emma, do you know?
Oh.
Go ahead, Brianna.
You.
Yeah, if you go back to page 165, guys. Go back to 165, okay? You see here, it has it is both in a nominative and objective case, and you is both nominative and objective case, okay? So that's where she went and looked, and that's what you should have done too. I know. But Mr. Jones, we've been doing work for 45 minutes now. How can we last? I know. Life is tough, isn't it? I tell you. All right. So it says here, if necessary, change the form of the pronoun in parentheses to make it fit in the incomplete sentence. Write the correct pronoun in the blank. So here's the first one. Has Andrew or he ever been to Guam? Okay, and then it's the form of the word he that would be appropriate for the blank there. What do you think, Andre? You do think, right?
Can it be the original?
It can, yes.
It is the original then.
It is the original. You're right, because if you redo that one, since it's a question, that would be an interrogative sentence. You can reorder it and make it a declarative sentence. So it would be Andrew or he has ever been to Guam, or has been to Guam, and so that would make it subjective, and so it's a subjective case pronoun. What?
I think you taught us this once, that you said that when it's one of those sentences, just take out the original person, like the one that actually has the normal name. Like if you take out Andrew.
Right, that's true, yeah.
You just look if it sounds correct.
Yeah, and it does help, though, to also reorder it so that it's not a, what do you call those sentences that are written out of order? Can we rename it now? Inverted order. It's in inverted order, which means the verb comes before the subject, or the subject is in the middle of the verb phrase. And so, all right, how about number 2? Michael hit a line drive past the shortstop, and it's a form of the word I. What do you think, Eric? What would make sense there? For number 2. For number 2, Eric. Sorry to interrupt your nap with school.
I was just sleeping.
So number 2, Michael hit a line drive past a shortstop, and what goes in that blank? It's a form of the word I. You wouldn't say I, what would you say? Huh?
Me.
Yeah, that's correct. It's me. Between the past the shortstop and me. So you see how it's a form of the word I, or it means I as if I'm the one talking. That's the idea. Same thing for the next one. Juliana, you'll just have to mouth it, but you have to show us your mouth at the same time. Jesus redeemed you and blank by his death on the cross. Form of the word I. Move your head up. There you go. Yeah, that's correct. Me. Very good. We can read lips. Very good. All right, Emma, how about number 4? You have 2 of them here.
My parents will
How is
pay.
my a form of the word we? We means more than one person.
Actually,
So it would be like you and your sister. Like you're saying it for you and your sister. So go ahead.
our parents
That's correct.
will pick us up after the party.
Very good. You got the idea now. We'll pick us up after the party. So who hasn't done one? Is it Brianna? You haven't done one yet?
No, I
You want to do
haven't.
it? You did one or you did not?
No, I didn't.
Go ahead and do number 5 then. And it's for the they, like it's more than one person that's not a part of your group.